And just when we thought the seasons couldn't get any juicier, they did. Hey boo, in today's video, we are going to discuss Love is Blind, honey, season 3, episodes 5 through 7. If you have not already checked out season 3, episode 1 through 3 and episode 4 video, then honey, what are you doing? I need you to meet me there, honey, and then come back here, okay, so you can come up to speed with exactly how I've been feeling about these episodes. And if you loving content like so, honey, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe, because your girl is following the entire season, and I'm gonna need you to join me on the journey, okay? We're gonna go ahead and immediately jump into girl Cole and Zunab. So in episode 5, we start by seeing Cole and Zunab. I'm gonna call her Z for short. They meeting on the beach, they having their little food, their little brunch or whatever. And he immediately asks, so now that you done seen all the guys, are you having second thoughts? Is it somebody else you might be interested in? She immediately says, no, I only have eyes for you. But then, child, she go ahead and asks his ass, so how you feeling? Because the fact that you bought this up, sir, something ain't right. Homeboy hesitates. Now, I don't know how many times I done said that Cole, Lord Cole. I really believe that he must be new to this dating thing because, yeah. He hesitates and hesitates a little bit more. I'm talking about at this point, you can hear a pin drop. You can hear a bitch farts. Maybe if they stomach starts growling, you gonna hear it. You can hear a mouse. It was just that damn quiet. And she's like, well, if you're taking that damn long, honey, then you don't even need to answer the question. I already know, and maybe I should be a little concerned. Once he realized that she done got in her feelings, he's like, I don't want none of them girls. This girl I don't like because of this. This girl I don't like because of this. That girl I don't like because of that. But when he got to Colleen, girl, he said, and Colleen is happy with Matt. It wasn't she is this and she's not my type and she's that or whatever. It was she's happy with Matt, as if I can't even feel no type of way about sis because she already got somebody. You thought that was okay to say? He then goes on to repeat himself like a damn record player about she's the type that I would talk if I was in the real world. Honey, what world are we in? I'm getting so confused about them with this real world because as far as I know, they in the real world. I'm not really understanding. I can appreciate Cole being very unfiltered, very transparent, but honey, you gotta have thick, tough skin for them answers that he is gonna serve, because he damn sure gonna bring it. I do see though where Z started getting a little insecure when she heard how he was just going on and on about Colleen, and that would be any woman. Like, honey, I know I'm not ugly, but if you carrying on about sis and not necessarily carrying on about me, then I feel like I got something I need to be a little concerned about. Cole is so very playful, honey. He got a playful spirit, honey. Like I said from the get-go, that man is childish, and you have to have a certain type of patience, personality to deal with him. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like Z needs to kind of loosen up. She gives me motherly vibes. Like she acts like his mom instead of acting like his fiance. I know they say that opposites attract, but it's gonna be really interesting to see how them two unfold as the season progresses. I still love Brennan and Alexa, specifically Alexa, honey. She's just so cute.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I can't even say Alexa too loud, honey, because she gonna think we talking about her. I do notice that Brennan is really, really concerned as how their lifestyles are going to adapt to one another. For some reason, I feel like he has some type of concern. I don't know if he knows something that he not saying, or I'm not really sure, but he doesn't seem real confident in what's going to happen once they go home. I felt like in the past, they were really relatable with certain aspects of their life, but I'm also now starting to see where the difference lies. Okay, sis say she don't wear the same outfit more than one time, child, and if that ain't bougie, she even said it, classy, bougie, ratchet, she a savage. You heard what she said. And homeboy say he got 10 pairs of clothes and he just mix and match. I'm not really sure how the hell this gonna work out, y'all. Bartise and Nancy start having a little conversation, and Nancy starts to say, well, you know, Raven is very negative and I ain't really feeling her. I'm not really feeling her. Now, I don't know if sis is just getting this way because she's starting to get a little insecure knowing that her boo, you know, it got his eye on her and constantly talks about how attractive she is and how that's normally his type. I'm not really sure. I'm feeling like the insecurities from Z is starting to rub off on Nancy. These men has a way of making these women feel some type of way. She told his ass, I can't even see how you even like her but you like me, because me and her is two totally different people, which they are. Let's just be honest. Raven is very much more self-centered. Nancy just has this whole bubbly personality, just easy to get along with, just less bougie and uppity. I don't know. It's just completely two different type of people. But I really did love how Bartise reassured her, like, look, sis, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have nothing to worry about. Yes, I do think she's attractive. Girl, he gonna always throw that out there as much as possible. If I can get paid $100 every time Bartise start talking about how attractive physically Raven is, honey, I'll be rich. I'm rich, bitch. But he also reassured her, like, but I chose you and this is why. And I was like, okay, maybe you get a little pass, but honey, we don't want to keep hearing the same shit over and over. If I'm getting tired of it, I know damn well Nancy getting tired of it. I remember them having a little conversation in the room where he was talking to her and he was kind of like, if we had to get married right now, would you say yes? And sis said, yes, I'm ready for this. And I felt like, what did she say wrong? Because he kept saying, are you sure? Are you sure? It started making me feel like, well, if you asking me, am I sure, then honey, that means you're not. And I get where he's like, well, you never seen me get mad and you don't really know the ups and downs. But like she said, baby, I want all of you, okay? Because all of me loves all of you. Honey, she hit him with a John Legend. And he was just sitting there puzzled, because clearly that's not how he feeling as well. Then he gets into this whole, you know, after a certain amount of time with the other past women, the love kind of fizzled out. And I'm like, is he giving subliminals right now? Like, what's going on? I don't know, but that really caught me off guard, sis. Let me know what you think. Like, where was that energy coming from? Now, with SK and Raven, now it all started making sense as to why I didn't really see much of SK and Raven kind of like connecting on a physical level. Like, I didn't see much touching involved. I didn't see much kissing, just a little bit when they got into the pool. But it all made sense when SK mentioned, oh, Raven already had told me, you know, she set pretty much the foundation that, honey, you know, my love language is not touch, not physical touch. I don't want to be touched. Don't kiss me. He's just trying to respect her wishes. And the fact that he's a Scorpio and he was talking with Nancy and they both was like, we love to connect on a physicality. Okay, we want to touch. We want to feel. I would love to see how this unfolds. I don't know, sis. I don't know. Am I the only one? I just don't feel the connection. Like, I just feel like something ain't right. Something ain't right. It's just not giving what it's supposed to give. It almost just seemed like, okay, they're just an autopilot and they just kind of rolling with the punches. I don't see them saying yes at all. So I'm going to just say it right now. Really shocked the hell out of me when I heard her mention, oh, I'm really falling in love. And then goes to kissing and kissing again and kissing again. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Okay, because I was not expecting that. But even after seeing that, I still feel the way I feel. I stand on what I said. I don't feel it. Girl, what about when Raven and Bartise finally met up in the pool and was able to have a conversation one-on-one, honey? Because remember now, homeboy be filling his cup up, honey. Ego this damn big. I was looking forward to this moment because homeboy felt like the reason why she wasn't really connecting with SK is because of him. He had to make sure he let her know how he's so physically attracted, and she's, you know, them two is perfect written out here in the world and written on paper, whatever the fuck that means. All this boasting and bragging and everything. And then he goes on to say, like, you know, I don't know what he expected her to say. I'm not even really sure. Was he thinking that she was going to say, yeah, I feel the same way. Let's ditch who we talking to and run off together. Like, I'm not really sure what he was looking for, but he got hit with one of those things that he got hit with in the pod before. Remember when he told her that he didn't want to choose her and that he was choosing with somebody else, and then Sus was like, well, I felt the same way. And then she goes on to all this shit that she just dropped. She's like, yeah, well, thank you, but that's my man and I'm gonna stick beside him. Homeboy was just sitting there like, okay, very speechless, giving that same energy that he gave in the past. The fact that she was like, I'm not flattered that he's talking about my physical appearance, but also saying that he was not connecting on an intimate, emotional, intellect way. Like, right. She was like, honey, I was offended. Like, that was a try. So basically all that shit he was talking about in episode 4, I think it was, talking about why she wasn't really connecting with SK was because of him, honey. Lies. He went up to Alexa and just told her everything. All she said was, hello, Cole, how are you today? And yeah, you know, I'm good, but I'm not. you know, because I'm with Z, but I ain't really physically attracted to her, you know, but I prefer Colleen, because Colleen, she got the looks. That's what I talk to normally in the real world. And Alexa was just like, okay, well, I ain't even have to pull it out his ass. He even mentions this to Colleen, honey. Did you see when them two started talking? I was just like, okay, well, what's going on right here? Because it really looked like they was giving the flirted energy, honey. They was giving energy like they was into each other. Now, she didn't say nothing inappropriate, but I may need to re-watch that clip again. It was just their mannerism, their body language. It was like, you know, like when you realize somebody really like you and they flattering you, and it's like, and I kind of think that he's her type as well, even though Matt is a cutie, honey. I like Matt. I just felt like that conversation will later, because baby, you're being filmed, will come back to bite them in both of their ass. And you know what else I don't really like, Z? You already know that you got insecurities or self-esteem, or maybe you don't, but he makes you have this. So why would you even attempt to even ask him to rate you and then rate other women? Because, honey, you're dealing with Cole here. He's going to definitely tell you what the hell you want to know. He went on to tell her, you know, it's just physical with Colleen. It's nothing like the connection that we have. That shit was just going through her ear and out the other. She just heard that you gave her Colleen a 10 and you gave her a 9, and that's it. And he's like, didn't put the icing on the cake. He's like, well, I gave you a 9. I don't even give 80% of the women I'm a 9. And I'm like, honey, that don't even make it no better. Like, you just need to learn to shut the hell up. So in episode 6, everybody done went home. You know, now they in their real element, the real world. Okay, maybe that's what they was referring to. When they moved in together, you notice that Z immediately stepped into mommy mode, honey. It was to pick up your shirt. You know where to put those things, right? This and that. It was just like, and he's like, yeah, but I mean, I can get it where if you're used to tidiness and neatness, and then you're moving in with somebody that's the complete opposite, it ain't gonna work most of the time. But I don't know, maybe it's just the way she says it, because it comes out very mommy-ish. One thing about Colleen, she gonna play that role, honey. Can we please just go ahead and give her the Emmy, because she gonna play that role. Homegirl is in love. Was past in love. If there was something past in love, she would be that person. It's her. Sis is in 7 days. I think they went on day 7 and she talking like this. He asked her, so if some man approach you, what will you say now? She's like, well, I'm gonna say I'm a fiance. You know, normally I say it and I don't really be or in a relationship, but now I can really say it. And he's so excited, like, yeah, I'm glad, I respect that. I'm gonna say the same thing. You know, they was on the same page. I personally feel like Matt really loves her. Is it just me? I mean, his energy is always, he's just so flattered and just so, like, not obsessed, but like he's just so like fascinated by her. Like the way he watches her, and I love this. Like, I love that. He's just definitely giving positive vibes. And I'm not saying that she's not. I just feel like sometimes she kind of overdo it. She may be a little bit dramatic. But overall, I still love them together. I really do. I'm really rooting for them. I'm thinking that they are going to be one of the couples to definitely say I do. But we going to see. Anybody else really loved Matt's mom? Like, she was so welcoming and so loving, and Sue started crying and everything. Like, you could tell that she was just like overly joyed that he finally found love. But she was asking some questions now to be sure that she wasn't doing all this shit for the camera. Maybe she sensed the Academy Award winning actress as well. Girl, let's talk about Alexa them, child, the Kardashians, child. That house is nice as hell. And why the hell does everybody look alike? They all got the same lips, the everything, the facial. I know they family. Even the stepmama looked like them, and that ain't even the real mama. And it was so funny that her dad was like, I would have never guessed my daughter would date a guy like that. And I was just like, ooh, now it all makes sense why the hell Brennan is a little concerned. And then when Alexa went to his house, honey, it was like night and day. Had the chickens, honey, and the goats and the cows and the, you know, the whole little farm back there. They back there, building their own herbs and vegetables and shit like that, honey. And Alexa has no clue. She don't do shit like that. That family, I'm pretty sure they don't do nothing like that. So it was in a whole nother world. I love that the mom had a heart-to-heart with her on the swing and was asking her questions. But I do feel like she's scared a little bit when she started talking about he likes to run and he loves D. D parents was also very welcoming. I really loved how they just kind of like took him in, and then they told Cole, they even prayed together, honey, because a family that prays together stays together. Hello. She kind of opened up and kind of made him realize some of the things that he saw or heard Z said, and he kind of put things together in perspective better. I really hate that Cole's parents did not approve of the whole situation. You could tell it really hurt him, child. Like, the way how he talking as if they kind of like it's just disgusted, it's not disowning him. They feel like, who is this person? This is not who we raised. I don't know if I think it's something to do with religion. Like, this is not even what you're supposed to be doing. Like, it's not right. Honey, he's just not liking that. He's not liking it at all. And I feel like it's going to affect Z as well because she's big on family. Now, apparently Nancy dropped the ball once they got back to Dallas. I guess because it was gonna come out anyway. So sis had done said something in the pause, but I guess she wasn't crystal clear. Bartise is like, wait a minute. So your ex is your business partner. Y'all own homes together. Like, come on, make it make sense. Y'all got too much interaction. You made it seem like it was just a realtor. Now he's actually hands in the coin as well. Like, honey, I don't know how I feel about that. I just feel like Bartise is really a good manipulator, or what's the word? Swindler? No, that's not it. What's the word? He's a charmer, honey. He's a charmer. He's really good with his words. I feel like he knows how to get out of sticky situations. He will make a good like lawyer or something like that. Like, he has rebuttals, honey. I do love that when he went to Nancy's house, them brothers was putting his ass in line. Okay, they let him know, like, look, the reason why you said you went to my sister is the same reason why we love her. This is something that she does to everybody. Try again. What's your reason why you love her? What about when he said when she gained 400 pounds, child? His response, I feel like the brother was looking for, I'm going to love her unconditionally. But, honey, he was like, honey, look, I ain't falling. When I met her, she won 400 pounds. I'm not fucking around with her when she get 400 pounds, okay? But he did say, you know, he'll try to help it and try to, you know, make it that it don't even get to that point. But he gonna be honest that the physical the physical matters. And you know what else I did not like and I don't like about Bartise and that I've noticed is that he does not talk about Nancy as if he's her wife compared to some of those, or fiance. He kind of does more of the when I marry or when I get my wife, but he doesn't refer the wife as her. And then he's like, well, we're not married, but the goal is to be married. Like, I thought you want to marry her, right? Like, so why wouldn't you refer her as the wife that you're talking in third person about? It just doesn't make sense. The math not mathing. So it's starting to let me see that maybe he's not really, interested the way he was in the pods or taking it as serious anymore. I'm not sure, y'all. Did y'all notice that? I really liked when Nancy mom asked him about his finances. A lot of us be dating people, child, and y'all don't even ask nobody about their financial situation. You don't ask them about their expenses. You don't ask them how they like to spend, what they spend, do they got debt, none of that. Sus went on to ask the questions that needed to be asked, okay? Her mom seemed very nice, but she also seemed like she don't play the radio, especially about her baby girl. I'm pretty sure even Nancy didn't even ask that question, honey. So I really like to see that she did that. Girl, did you hear SK? First off, did you see SK smiling from ear to ear, honey? You saw every last bit of teeth he had in his mouth, honey, gums and all. He was very happy when he talked about how she went down at nighttime. So I guess Raven's starting to loosen up a bit, child. Either she got real drunk and was horny. I don't know. Maybe the rose was dead or something. But she went ahead and gave SK some of the poom, okay? And I was very surprised about that because, again, I just don't see it, honey. I don't see the connection. Sus even went on to complaining about late night calls. Now, mind you, Sus, he's from Nigeria. I think that's like a 7-hour difference. It's gonna happen. He did mention, you know, if it's a problem, I step out at night. And that's all you gotta do. Communicate. Communication is the key, boo. I also loved SK mom. Now, I'm not gonna lie, originally she gives that whole, but I just feel like a lot of women from different cultures and things like that tend to give that. It's just their resting bitch face, honey, okay? It's just, hell, I even give it a lot of the time. She turned out to be way more accepting and nice, sir, than I thought that she would be. Now, I didn't realize that Raven parents wasn't in approval of this whole shenanigans as well, child. So they not going to be a part of the picture. It always end up being like that. Every season, there's about 2 to 3 people who parents is just like, hell no. Either they don't want to be on camera or they ain't fucking with it. Another thing I noticed about Raven is she's very controlling. I feel like she wants everything my way, the highway. Now, I noticed that she had a little pendant on that had the little horns. So either she's a Taurus or she's an Aries. And if she's an Aries, it makes so much sense because, baby, they like to be in control. They like to control things. You is not finna tell them what to do. And I feel like she's definitely standing in that energy. She's definitely giving Like, honey, I'm gonna still do me even if I do have a man. You about to step into my world. I'm not changing nothing. I'm not consolidating nothing, honey. I'm not compromising nothing. And see, SK is having a problem with that. He's like, wait, hold on. You wanna live where you live. You want me to pay all the bills, and even though I ain't gonna be living here, so you expecting me to do all this and all that. I told you, y'all, she's in it for the coin. I think I'm getting to episode 7 where then Nancy finally gets to meet Bartise's family, and the daddy really loved her and everything, but then they ended up getting into this like talk about abortions and things like this, which they had prior alone, but then he happened to bring it all up again, honey. His sister ended up getting very emotional about the situation, and it kind of seemed like from that point their relationship just spiraled, honey. He said that he wouldn't even hug her and start saying that she was being needy when she asked him. You shouldn't even have to ask your man to give you no hug, touch you, kiss you, none of that. Seems like that whole topic about abortions and things like that, which is a very sensitive subject, but I'm telling y'all that when you meet these people, these are the type of the conversations that you need to have. Religion, politics, stuff like this, that if that's a deal breaker for you, you need to have these conversations. Finances, because you don't want to jump into something, honey, and then it end up turning out to be something completely different because you decided to avoid that conversation. I feel like he talked to his sister child, and his sister was like, that is not the one, honey. Sis don't mind having abortions, and we don't stand by that. The mama and his sister probably got in his ear. Not to mention, he had a whole problem about Nancy withholding that information about her ex is her business partner and all of that stuff. So he's holding on to all of that. He's not really liking it. He's acting different. I really was rooting for them because they had very great physical, and like it just felt genuine, you know. I don't know what's gonna happen now. Now when SK met Raven's friends, honey, them friends came with the questions, honey. You're talking about 21 questions, honey. They came with 50, probably to 100. They was not playing around. I wouldn't even be surprised if she sent them a list and made them ask so she wouldn't have to. They did express that she's nothing like the Nigerian culture. It kind of like they gave off the whole impression that they're a little bit more submissive. A lot of women from different countries, not every, but a lot of them are a little bit more willing to be submissive and, you know, kind of compromised than a lot of us American women. But they definitely raised the concern there. They was like, honey, I don't think that's gonna work. And then the whole traveling, he's planning on going to school right away for 2 years. Like, yeah, no, they saying like, no, that ain't gonna work. And then they also dropped the bomb that I feel like I hope SK took heed to, that she has not really had a committed relationship. Something like that they made a comment about. So I'm just like, red flag, and another red flag. What about Matt at dinner when they was went back to that room from after the pool? I think this was on episode 6. Did she admit to it? I believe he said that she actually came and told him, and apparently when she told him, she didn't think it was gonna go from 0 to 100. Honey, I see the whole fire. He looked like a little devil, child. He was hot. He was heated. Okay, he was ready to pack the hell up and go. He was ready to go. He just felt like, oh, you trying to play me? And I feel like it's another insecurity, and it's stemming from his past relationship, where what his ex-girlfriend did, he probably vowed to say he would never, when he see the flags, red flags, he about to take heat immediately. So he's now withdrawing himself. He's not really being tolerable to anything, which I don't blame him. But I feel like he just heard a few lines of what she said about in the pool, and he just took off with it. He didn't want to hear shit else. He was just hot. Sis was sad. She was crying. She didn't want him to go. It was something to have a conversation about, but it was not nothing to blow up about. That's how I feel. But I can see where his concern lies, because, honey, remember now, he had just asked. So if somebody asked you about some other man, you being in a relationship, what would you say? You supposed to say the fiance, honey. You supposed to say, oh, I'm with him. But she didn't really, she kind of entertained it a little bit. And that was where he had the problem. Like, sis, you were supposed to cut that off real quick, immediately. He felt like there should have been no casual conversations at all. We done talked about the appetizers of this whole ordeal, but we about to get into the entree. So the conversation came back up with Cole and Colleen. Now, mind you, them two had talked about it from what we heard, and they woke up the next day as if ain't nothing happened. You know, they was back to all the lovey-dovey shit. Now, I already knew, honey, that wasn't gonna last long, because one thing about these men, they be very unbothered but bothered, okay? So they'll make it seem like, oh, it's nothing, I don't feel that way. It's good, we can move past it. And meanwhile, they are really holding that shit hostage. So when she said, oh, we don't move past it, blah, 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 I was like, yeah, right. gets to the table and she like, yeah, you know, Cole tells me that he really physically attracted to Colleen. And it was like, dun, dun, dun. Okay, because did you see how Colleen looked? She was like, oh, hell, here they go with this conversation now. Well, I thought we was out here to have a good time, not bring this bullshit up. Then she ended up having a conversation with Matt by himself. I'm talking about Z. And she's just like, wait a minute. All this shit is unfolding that I did not know. She just knew the part about the physical type. She didn't know about the real world. She didn't know something about a flirting thing or whatever, child, entertaining each other. Like, she didn't get all of those details, if that was really even the case. And this shit reignited her anger, honey. I think it really dropped her self-esteem down even lower. Matt was just telling her, like, honey, do not settle. Do not settle. Do not settle. They said something about Z was crying. Nobody couldn't find her. Matt goes back up to Colleen and he's like, yeah, you know what? I know I said I'm over this shit, but I ain't over this shit. You know, and you know, I still feel like that was messed up. And then she's like, really? So we gonna do this again after I done poured out my heart and soul? You know, because she immediately gets into actress mode, okay? The tears start flowing. It's like on sight. I don't even think the tears really even be flowing, honey. So start getting into the victim role, okay? Like, how could you? Cole ends up finding Z, starts going up to her and like, babe, what the hell is the problem? Like, I hear you done disappeared. I'm hearing you was crying. What is up? She just lets him know that you really hurt my self-esteem. You hurt my feelings. Like, I cannot be Colleen. I know she's drop dead gorgeous. I'm the only one who think that Z is cute. Like, Z is cute. All of these ladies on here are pretty girls. Of course, Cole gets frustrated because he like, man, look, we back. We keep going in this circle. He's getting sick of that. I'm pretty sure the man is dizzy. Somebody give him some Dramamine. He is about to throw up motion sickness, honey. He steady keep trying to reassure her, and then she's not really hearing it. At this point, she don't even hear it. She like, nah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. You keep telling people that you physically attracted to Colleen because everybody don't have to know, but you keep finding a way to make sure you tell everybody, which I understand that part. It's like he breaks his neck to inform a bitch. And you're trying to physically allow the physical to grow with them too. Mind you, they done sex, child, a few times at that. 5 and 6, I think she was bragging about. And now you want to try to like make it seem like you're not attracted to me. So what was I, just a piece of meat? I can imagine all the emotions that Z must be feeling. All of a sudden, him being a man, doing the thing that men do, he try to be her man. Like, how the hell? You wrong, not her. I mean, you're not wrong for feeling how you feel. You're not wrong for being honest, but you're doing too much. And it's how you do shit. Next thing you know, he like, well, maybe you need to marry me. Maybe we need to swap fiancés, child. Later on that night, of course, Cole and Matt finally have a little sit down, child. And they like, so Matt like, talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Cole just tried to reassure him like it was no flirting. Nobody said what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas night. None of that. Now at the table, Melt felt better. But I guess he didn't approach Colleen. And they kind of left the energy on not so good energy. Because next thing you know, he calling Bartise and asking like, where is Colleen? And Nancy is like, oh, she went to the club. And he's like, well, what the hell? She ain't tell me. Sis was sick of the bullshit, okay? She said, let me go on now. I ain't got time to go home and try to stroke his ego when I already told him I don't want Cole. Bartise came out and was just like, honey, you keep trying to find a problem. Like, somebody tell him, because I really feel like out of all the couples, them two are the ones that's doing the best, in my opinion. And he's just like, you trying to find a problem. I wish I could be in y'all shoes, honey. I wish that the love y'all have for each other, I can have. I don't have that. And here you are trying to leave. What you leaving for? He seems like the type that's going to always run. Them is the worst kinds. Them is the emotional draining ones. The ones that don't know how to conversate and sit down and talk about it. Don't want to hear you out, want to overtalk you, feel like you don't want to listen. Them is the ones that are so draining. He's showing those signs already. Sus need to take heed. Bartise even went as low as to saying, hey, I'm jealous of y'all connection, child, okay? Because I wish I had what y'all had. And I'm just like, well, Bartise, it ain't that bad with you and Nancy, is it? And he's telling Nancy now, when they had went back into the room before the call with Matt, he's like, you know, I just can't help. I can't really get over the ex in the partnership. I can't really get over the whole abortion thing. Top of that, I'm trying to physically be attracted to you because normally I'm not. And it's just like, you know what? I'm so sick of them with this. Like, you already know what you signed up for. You signed up for a show to fall in love with a person for who they are on the inside, not the outside, not the appearance. Ain't like she ugly. But bro just got a resentment issues right now, and that's why he treating her like that. And I feel so sorry for Nancy because she don't deserve that shit. Of course, when Andrew comes around, honey, she goes over there and starts talking to Andrew, and you know, she pours her heart out to Andrew, and I love Andrew's response. He basically was like, well, if you need me, I'll be there. Okay, he ain't try to say, well, drop that and come on over on this side of town. He ain't try to like push up on her. He just listened, shut the hell up, watched. I'm pretty sure in his mind, honey, ain't no telling what he was thinking. But he just was saying that I'm available if you need me. And I appreciated him not being a hater. But what got me is when Bartise come marching his drunk ass over there, can't hold his little tequila shot, child, and want to be like, oh, what's going on over here? You guys are smiling. You didn't see her eyes all watery and red. Honey, she was just, clearly you don't know how to read the room. She was just crying. And he feel like they smiling and kikiing. I feel like it was just his ego. He just wanted to go over there because he didn't really care. Like she said, he ain't even been into her. He even admitted it. And then he walk over there like he's like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, bye. I really don't think like he even really cares, child. I really don't. I just feel like at this point, I don't think it's no coming back from those things that he's mentioning. Because he keeps saying he's trying, but it just keeps coming back. And I feel like that's what it's going to be. I don't think they're going to get married at this point. I know I thought they would. I don't think at this point they will. If they do, I'll be surprised. I know who's going to be mad, though. Them brothers and Nancy. But before I go, sis, come here. What about when Alexa was like, child, I had to let Brennan know I want to get my back blown out, okay? I want my legs over here, way back here. I want my damn hair pulled. I want to be tossed all around for hours and hours and hours. Not for 2 minutes. Not the 1 minute man. Girl, did you hear her? Talking about how he be jamming it, ramming it. And in 2 minutes he done. And she's sitting there like, what the hell, girl? Wow, I thought that was hilarious, honey. But I'm so glad that she let him know and didn't just allow him to just do what the hell he wanted to with her body. Honey, because sex is a mutual thing. You get yours, I get mine. She claims he's starting to fulfill the child, but I don't know. I think she just said it because she knew that she was on camera. And that pretty much concludes, honey, season 3. Episodes 5 through 7. Now, like I said before you go, be sure to thumbs up this video because I know you felt the good vibes. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you have not watched the episode 1 to 4, honey, please make sure you do so because they are available. I'm gonna make sure I create a playlist specifically just for y'all. Make sure you come in them comments and come on down there and talk to me, honey. What you thinking about these episodes? What do you feel? Who gonna work and who not? Who you got? Who your money with? If you made it to the end of this video, be sure to drop this emoji down in the comments, baby. That's how I'm gonna know it's real. I want to thank you so very much for taking the time out to watch this long video. Until next time, later.